Hey everybody, it's Christy Robbins here, and I'm the host tonight for our Team Phoenix Hangout, which is tonight going to be about the psychology of sales because we have just had a small webinar on it, going through the 30 triggers on the whole sales process and how you actually can get in touch with people's psychological triggers. So we'll talk some more about that and discuss the whole topic of the psychology of sales. But first, as we are all here, some of us know each other a lot, and some are new, and we can just hear some more about people's background, where they're from, of course, their names, where they're from, and what made you guys join ILN, or what made you join network marketing, online marketing. So basically some background information about you so that we can get more in touch and get to know each other. And if we start with Jacob, and we'll move our way over.
Sure, happy to say hello, as it hopefully now says underneath my name. Underneath me now, my name is Jacob. I have been in network marketing, I guess you could say, now since I think it was last July. I was in another opportunity, as Christy and I often refer to it, and I learned a lot of cool stuff, met a lot of great people, including Christy, of course. We met at an event last year, and in the end, I don't know, it just didn't sit right in the end with me, and I couldn't get in the right place. And that touches on some of the things we spoke about just previously, Christy, which is making sure that you have integrity and people can see through, so they can see through you, or get a feeling of that something's wrong if you're not totally in sync with what it is you're promoting, what it is you're doing. So back in December, I was introduced to ILN. I actually remember getting a message from both Christy and my sponsor Victoria within, it was so close. I think Victoria beat you by about literally 60 seconds. It's because it was when they launched the when they launched the 7-day trial, and it felt very synchronous to me because it was just on that day when I'd stopped with my previous opportunity. I felt like I'd hit a bit of a brick wall. Christy gave me some excellent counselling on the phone for about an hour because I was feeling very sorry for myself. And then, lo and behold, synchronistically, the ILN trial appeared on it was pretty much the same day when I said, right, what's next? Sometimes you put that question out, okay, what am I going to do now? And the answer came almost immediately. And I jumped on the 7-day trial and immediately fell in love with the community and the people and the products that we have. And started to see results in a much quicker way than I had previously, because I hadn't really seen any results before that, to be honest with you. So yeah, I come from a sort of technical background, but I also do creative stuff. I design music for video games, things like that. But my background is sort of technical programming and things, so a bit of a jack of all trades. But I love network marketing and I love ILN because for me personally, it gives me the ability to sort of just do things that I resonate with and be myself, really. And yeah, it's sort of like monetizing you being the product. And I'm just learning loads, and I love the community and I love the people. So I think that's it. I'll leave it there, otherwise I'll talk for hours.
Yeah, you'll have your chance with the discussion. So we'll do the round here, and Karen, if you can unmute yourself and talk a bit about yourself and your background and why you're here.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're going through.
Yeah, my name's Karen Spence. I'm based in Scotland, and I've joined the Team Phoenix and ILN, I think it was the end of January this year. I was involved in another couple of internet marketing companies, probably for about 6 to 8 months prior to that, and didn't really get anywhere. And obviously then I found Christy, had a look at her blogs and everything, kind of had a read up, a little bit of background research, and decided ILN, what is this? Looked a little bit further into that, and I liked what I saw, and here I am today to tell the story. And Christy's my upline. Thank you very much for bringing me in.
Yeah, thank you. I remember you found me when, yeah, you probably found me before, but you signed up when I was in Miami for the.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on a bit of a. It wasn't really a vacation trip. It was really like a business trip to Miami to join my first network marketing event. And then I got a sign up there, and I had never heard about Karen. Usually I hear about, I have a relationship to the people before they sign up, but this was out of the blue, and then I got to learn Karen afterwards. So yeah, I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you're doing such a great job with your blog. And
Thank
you're posting in all the groups. So nice hearing from you.
Yep.
And Keith will be there, yes. Is Keith there?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you say my name then. I was in a different world for a second.
Okay.
I thought you were working across. I wasn't ready.
It's mine. I don't know.
I'm Keith, everybody, and I've been online marketing for about 2 years. Joined ILN earlier this year. Wasn't looking for a different company to join, but I kind of came across a webinar of Mark Oberson's, and I loved what he said. I've been following Mark for probably about 9 or 10 months, and kind of decided that I was going to join ILN. And loved the training, met some amazing people, and it's just different from what I've seen before, because everybody's like so active. Everybody's like inspirational. Everybody wants to get stuff done and do stuff. Whereas I've seen before is people are kind of, sometimes they get stuck and there's no action going on and there's no initiative. But when I joined ILN, I just seen a lot of action, a lot of initiative, and it's a great place to be, inspirational and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, great. If you can hear me now. Yes. Nice hearing from you. Yeah. Yeah, totally agree with you that it's just a different community also, because we have the Facebook group, and we can be as active as we want. Of course, there are also people that aren't active, but then they don't last that long. So the action takers, the people that are active, will definitely get the support. As I wrote to one team member today or yesterday, that because he would like to have some support, and I wrote that, of course, if you're active and if you're asked for support, we will, of course, support you. We can only support the people that are active or that ask for it. Ask and you will receive. That's sort of the thing here. So, yeah, just helping each other, supporting each other as much as we can, but people have to ask for it. Kimberly and Claude are taking a picture. And maybe you are ready to tell us about your background, why you're here, what you do, where you live, whatever you want to share with us.
Hey everyone, yes, we're ready to go. Hi Christy, so pleased to be here as usual in our Hangouts. What's got us started? With ILN, it was the community that did it for me. I thought it was, it was a nice thing to get started with. So we just, went ahead and we literally jumped in. And then we got the thing from Christy saying we're in, and and it just went from there. But it was what attracted me the most was the community, because I've been in a lot of MLM stuff, but for me what did it was the community, and how it was quite nice to actually the team and the
Oh no, they jumped off. Yeah, they were having, both them and Nina are having some internet problems or something. But yeah, they'll come back. And Nina, I think we can hear you.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
hello there.
So,
I just tried to
you're
get back on via my iPhone, so that seems to work.
okay, so your iPhone works, but your computer net doesn't work that much. But it's totally fine. We have computer issues all the time here, and people jump off and on like like they can. Uh, and do you want? I know we have to hear from Nadine too, but do you want to talk about yourself? Present yourself a little bit, Nina. Uh, where you live and what you do and why you are here and stuff like that.
All right, okay, of course. Well, I live in Germany, close to the city Düsseldorf, and I actually missed Christy at an event, at the Anthony Robbins event in London in March, and well, I think it just, for me, we just connected very well because we have quite a few things in common. And she was talking about the ILN, which so much enthusiasm that I just got back to her after the event, inquiring about what exactly she's doing and what the possibilities are. And she told me a little bit. So last week I decided to go on the trial, and I haven't had as much look around as I should have at this time. Catching myself going into my typical pattern of overwhelm, but Christy is putting out a lot of videos and information, and I just started to find my way around how I can get into it. And basically I'm interested in ILN in general because I'm working in a paycheck job, but I don't want to do that any longer, and I'm looking for another way of living and working to do what I love. Yep, that's about it.
Great. I think that's why we're all here. We don't want the 9-to-5 job or whatever it is. We want a more freedom lifestyle, intimate lifestyle, and we can learn here how to do it. In the ILN University, we learn from our teammates, and it's just learning every day and applying what we learn, and slowly we get small success stories, and then our self-confidence rises with that, and it's really a great way to work towards your dreams instead of just being stagnated at your regular job. So thank you for that. And Kimberly is back on, so she can continue.
Hey, we're back. Oh my goodness. I tell you, technology in our household. But yeah, so I don't know how much you heard, but I can just start again. Well, we started up with ILN because we love the community, we love the team, we love just you know, and the idea of having a passive income is really important. So it's really important to have multiple streams of income, which is something I learned from my mentor Bob Proctor, that you really need to have, you know, passive income. And I didn't know where to start or how to even begin, and you know, I've tried out different things, and so far this is the best yet. Love it. I love the people, and it's a great environment to learn, even if you have your own product. I found, you know, because I've got a lot of programs and courses that I do, that I can actually apply the training into that and apply the training into my marketing, and it's just absolutely brilliant. And it's great because you meet amazing people and you bring in amazing people, like, you know, like Christy, you know, my upline, you're amazing. I met Jacob when we were on the phone, you know, Karen, just everyone, you know, I can start, I can go on forever, you know, naming names, and, you know, but it's an amazing place where you actually meet people who are like-minded, and you actually can do great things, and, you know, like doing joint ventures. Currently I'm doing one with Awesome Tara, you know, and it's a lovely place. ILN is just awesome. There's a lot of training that I found. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Claude?
Well, to be quite honest, again, I've been in a number of MLM opportunities previously, and none with the sort of like welcome or the scope as with the Internet Lifestyle Network. I mean, it genuinely is a lifestyle network because they really do expect you to really be part of the lifestyle that they, if you like, profess to live, and they actually do live it, and every day you see people living it and how you can actually achieve it. And that's the difference between this and other major or minor islands. That's why other other eminent opportunities. That's why I'm here.
Oh, we lost you. I lost the sound or something. Oh, we lost them. So Nadine can continue. So Kimberly and Claude will just jump on and off, and hopefully get through their presentation at one point. But if Nadine might not be ready. Oh.
Hello everyone! How's it going? Woo!
Nice to see you.
Yes, and thank you very much for, I'm really happy to be here. And it's all thanks to Kimberly! So big hug, thank you. So my background is I'm a very entrepreneurial spirit, and I'm really good at creating products within a very short period of time. I never thought about the money perspective at this point. I always got really sponsors, and I had a money blueprint, and then I came across T. Harv Eckert, Millionaire Mind Intensive, and I became a Quantum Leap member, and since then everything is just a woo. And I met Kimberly and we were talking about, I'm just writing my second book, and it's getting ideas, and I realized I do need a passive income in a way, because the time where I spend now is just taking up time. Then he said, ILN! And most probably like you, Jacob, she gave me the 7-day trial. At this point, I have still no idea how is this going to work and how. So I'm in the process of how. But it's very exciting. I think the reason why I'd love to be at this hangout is because talking to inspiring people, and we all have so much resources because I think we have the same vision, the mission to empower people or to make a difference on a larger scale. And the more we free ourselves up, the more we can create. And then it's just a skill of how to monetize it as well, and then just leverage and impact. And I think I love it. I mean, I was on the phone with Kimberly, it was 3 hours later, and we're just I was So I think passive income is a nice foundation, so you can go off and build other products to then leverage. So I'm at the starting point.
Totally great to have you here. And yes, of course, in the beginning you have to find your ground, sort of. I made a document, and I can tag you in that, where I sort of divided the training to different days, so that you can day if you have time for that, so that you can split it up even more and take more time to do it. But yeah, just so people have some kind of a plan, a daily action plan, if you want to take a look at that. Because that's what I follow myself. I've gotten into a rhythm. I'm on my day, 38 right now of the ILN training marathon, as I call it, where I see 1 hour video every day, and then I write a blog post about it. I do a video about it. I spread it out on the social media, and I really learn a lot from Mark Hoverson, especially, and Vincent and Fraser and whoever. So yeah, once you get into the deep training, there's a lot of stuff also on building your own products, as Kimberly was saying. And if you're writing books right now, or what did you say? That you have your creative ideas.
So I already wrote a book. I wrote a book in 30 days. So I'm really good, short focus. It's called Don't Just Talk, Do It, and Make Your Crazy Idea Happen. But I put it in the drawer 2 years ago. And now Kimberly said, Nadine, you've already written a book, you already have a product. And I was like, oh, that's right. So my aim for this year is to sell 500,000 copies of this book. And while I write the second one already this 12th. So I'm writing the second, Yeah, that's the way to, and you have to learn how to market it and how to get it out there. And yeah, that's definitely, there's a lot of training and that here. So definitely. Good. Yay! We will be following your activities, your progress, all of us. Well, we're all following each other and encouraging each other to just stick with it, because it's our dreams.
this is about our dreams, our future life, and living corresponding to our dream life and how we want to live and be our own bosses and entrepreneurs and ourselves. So definitely, thank you for joining us in this great entrepreneurial Team Phoenix. And Kimberly and Claude, will you take a round 3 now? See if you can.
Sorry, say this again?
No, it was Kimberly and Claude. If they can go through a round 3 of the presentation.
We'll try again. Well, Claude was still talking, so do you want to finish up?
So, I'm not originally from, if you like, a marketing background. I actually started out in software licensing, and I went to an event where they actually did market heavily over the internet as well as direct selling. And I was in for a complete shock. It actually turned my world upside down. It was really like, the word I'm looking for is like intuitive and addictive, really, all in one. And I did pursue a few opportunities, which, some of them have been profitable, some of them not. But, MLM, I find, was pretty good to me until, it generally started to get a bad name. The moment somebody, you get into a conversation with somebody, they'd just deduce that it's an MLM, and that would just be the end of the story. We like, cowboys, and hey, and then until the, the whole ILN internet lifestyle network thing came up. And, the welcome and the knowledge was just overwhelming. I just thought I'd give it a go again, and so far, it's really worked out really well, and I'm really happy with it. And the people that join, they have nothing but positive things to say and to do no matter what. And everyone's so supportive. And we're really in the right place. Phoenix, it's just a sign of like rising. I wouldn't say from the ashes, it's rising from the, if you like, from the actual platform of your own success vision. So, from you actually, if you like, exude that sort of persona, you can only go up. And I think it's the right place to be with the friends that we've made. So I'm just like really happy to be here.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and I'll definitely second what Claude said, being in the right place, because you can join different teams in Ireland and join different people, but to actually join the right team and be surrounded by the right people is really important. But it's it's not just important for your growth, but it's important also. If you look at the team that we're in, it's absolutely fantastic. So the people that we all are bringing in, we should be bringing in people who are like-minded. So. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to be. I'm so glad Nadine made it. This is the first hangout. So yeah.
Yeah, so nice. Great. Just a small story, and I'll wait with my presentation after. Story about the name Team Phoenix, because I was one of the co-founders back in. We started the process in November and sort of close to December, and we had a democratic vote about the name. We were only a handful of people, and we wanted to have it symbolize our, of course, rising up to our potential, rising up to our dream lifestyle, of what we contain as human beings. And even though also with Mark Hoverson, I just in some of his training, he went through how many times you will actually think of quitting in this, or how many times he has thought of quitting in this venture of network marketing. But it's just that you always see yourself as a bird, a phoenix rising up from the ashes, that you might get some setbacks, you might get some things that sort of where you lack the motivation or something, but if you always know your why and why you're doing this, why you're going for this, then you will rise again like a phoenix. So it might happen 5 or 10 times before you reach the 6-figure amount, but it's just the process. It's the process of growing as a human being and sticking to what you want, sticking to your path, even though it may be hard sometimes, but just sticking to it, rising up like a phoenix. So Tara, we'll hear from you.
Hi guys. Well, I'm Tara Woodruff, and I came into Team Phoenix basically just wanting some extra money, something else to do in addition to what I was doing. And what I found was exactly what the name of the team means, exactly what everyone on the panel has been talking about. I found home. I found my breakthrough company. I found the place that all the different things I've been looking for my entire career in network marketing, that other things and other places were lacking. This has it all. It has the integrity. It has the products. It has the potential for income, the team, the like you were saying, Christy and Jacob, the simplicity. You know, knowing that you can go in there and get started on video 1, and you have an action plan, you make the blog, and you get it done, and just being engaged in that part alone is going to help anybody break through in this industry and make some money. The big thing, though, that's really blowing my mind is like my entrepreneurial wings are being stretched out. The challenges, and I'm talking challenge in a good way, definitely not in a bad way. The challenges that come with being an entrepreneur are really exercised here, where we can really grow and develop, like what Kimberly was saying and what Nadine and Chrissy was saying, where we're growing to be even more entrepreneurial. I mean, in our pro membership, he teaches us how to create products if you didn't know how to do it before, if you didn't have one before. And, just really getting locked in on this is absolutely wonderful. I have no shame in this game. I can introduce a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a kid straight out of high school to this company, and know that I'm doing the right thing for them. I wish everyone that came into network marketing started here.
Definitely. Like I told you guys in the last webinar that I was so overwhelmed with all the stuff in the other place I was, but and of course I can understand if you can also be overwhelmed if you're completely new in the industry, and if you start in Ireland, of course. Hi, Nina. We can see you now. But yeah, but it's more simply set up in Ireland that you just start from the beginning, go through the different training, and you can even press the complete lesson button and then continue to the next. So it's really just set up to make the least overwhelming. Of course, when you are surrounded by, if you are totally new in this business and you're surrounded by people who have been in the business like Tara for 5 years, and Tara talks about buying traffic, doing solo ads, doing this and that, of course it will be overwhelming if you listen to all of that. But it's about keeping your eyes on your own road and just starting from the beginning and walking your own path. And then later on you can go into all that. But definitely Ireland is the place to be for people starting out and learning. And if I can just present myself, Christy Robbins, and I live in Spain now. I'm from Denmark, and as you see, we have some German people, some British people, Scottish, and there's only one American represented right now, but we have a ton of Americans on Team Phoenix as well. But of course, they are starting maybe to have their own Team Phoenix Hangouts as well, because the hours doesn't match their working schedule and stuff. So maybe this is more Europe-based, but we'll see what happens. Tara is a consistent member of our hangout here. But yeah, I'm from Denmark, and I've lived in the U.S., in Guatemala, in the U.K., and now I live in Spain, and I would really like to stay in Spain. But I would also like to have a bigger income so that I can travel more back and forth and travel more all over the world and just live the internet lifestyle. So that's my dream. That's what I'm working for. Of course, there's a bigger why, also relating to me building my own family at one point, and I sort of promised myself many years ago that I wouldn't put the children into this world if I had this struggle economically, emotionally, financially. So I'm just really, I've been working many years on just getting to higher levels and sort of working it all out so that I can provide them with a better life, better mindset also. It's all in the mindset that I'm developing, of course. So that's my why, and I think we've even done a webinar on, or a hangout on why before. But yeah, and I think I've talked a lot about how great ILN is, so I'll just keep it at that. And if we dig into the topic for tonight, the psychology of sales, if we take a round, and most of you were on the webinar where I showed a presentation of the 30 triggers, the psychological triggers that you can appeal to in people in the sales process, in the whole promoting process, to catch their attention. So, and Jacob has written a lot of notes, so he will start with his views. You can, yeah, we'll just talk about what we have learned, what we found interesting the most, maybe.
I was just showing that I've been taking my notes, doing my homework, Christy. Was all.
Yay! Thank you. The teacher is proud.
Just to interject though, what you said about children, that was very powerful.
Mm.
You share a thought on that, I think, because that's something that
Yeah.
Natalie and I really want to have a family, but we've never been in the position really to feel secure enough or to be in a position where we can do that. So that's a powerful why, definitely.
Yeah. It's that they deserve the best in this world, and yeah, and one of the best is to be financially free, so that you actually have the time to spend with them. I don't want to have children and then just put them in daycare the whole day and go to a 9-to-5 job, and so that's why I'm working on this, so that I can get to the point where I can actually be financially free. So yeah. But do you have some comments on the 30 triggers or the psychology of sales? I think we'll just do one round with that because the time is getting closer. So yeah, we'll do one round on the topic. And
there were some really great points in that, Christy. Mm-hmm. Got them all written down here. The first one, I think, which I did mention, I think, is number 4, I think, objection raising, which is sort of proactively pointing out something that could be perceived as negative, and having shining a light on it, basically having a solution to it, or a counter thing to offer straight away. Because people, like, if you can beat someone if someone's got something negative to say, if you can raise it for them and address it before they even say it, that's good. Because it means that you've really thought it through, and they're going to have the sense that you're also honest as well, which covers number 7, integrity and honesty. If you're very forthcoming with things that, particularly things that can be perceived as negative to someone, and you're very forthright in saying it to them, I think that builds trust, because they're not going to think you're just sort of hiding anything, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so that was your favorite one, or?
I don't know if it was my favorite one. Let me review my notes. I guess the honesty and integrity one stood out for me most. Yeah. I liked. Another thing I didn't mention actually previously, there was one on the simplicity, number 21, simplicity, and there was a question: what can you remove from your product or whatever it is you're trying to market? Because that actually jumped out at me a little bit, because I think sometimes, well, I can only speak for myself, but I have a tendency to sort of lay it on really thick and give all these things. It's this and that, and you get this, and you're trying to almost overwhelm people with all the awesome stuff, which in a way that can be good, because you've got the enthusiasm one, right? Kind of you're showing a genuine emotion that you're enthusiastic about something, and that's fine. But when it comes to making a clear description of a product, particularly if you're doing something on a website or whatever, when you're having a clear description, simplicity, I think, is awesome. In fact, it made me think of sometimes when Natalie and I go to the supermarket and we sort of grab all these things that we want, and we're a bit sort of taking all these things off the shelf, and before we actually check it out, we normally take out all the things that we don't really need, and put them away to actually try and save some money and think, do we actually need this? So I'm all about finding ways to simplify and remove things. I think that's awesome.
Great. Yeah, we can just see what's stuck in our brain the most from. Of course, not all of you were on the webinar, but if you have other comments on the psychology of sales, you can chime in with that. But if are you done, Jacob, or do you want to talk 20 minutes more?
I could go on, perhaps. I'm sort of recovering what I'd spoken about already. I think, what was it, number 18, desire to collect. That was quite cool. And I think what sprung out to me there is this notion of, and Keith touched on this as well, the notion of adding something entirely unique. I think, Keith, your example was like a 30-minute coaching session or something, wasn't it? Like something a one-off, a one-off or something that people can get. And that's going to make them want to get it more. And you're right, I do have an obsession with collecting things.
Well, great. It's a unique trait.
Yeah, strange trait to have. What else we got? Emotion, that's a very important one. And that also touched on the story. There was some, I like, in my mind, some of them sort of overlap in a good way, if you know what I mean. Like the storytelling and the emotion one sort of overlapped for me, because obviously if you're telling a story to someone, you're evoking something in them, hopefully, and allowing them to relate to your story, particularly if it's your own story. And I think that was the other thing I got from it. He was talking about telling a story, when in our case, and certainly in ILN, our personal stories of like what we just shared just now, in fact, people who could come back and watch this hangout will each hear our stories, and different people sort of attract different people, and having a genuine story of your own success and your own development and ups and the whole thing, warts and all, ups and downs. I think that's for me one of the most powerful things in industry for me, is when you actually get exposed to someone's real story of struggle, but then they made it through, and now they're living in this way, and it's a way that you desire to have. It's just being real, isn't it, and putting yourself out there and sharing what you've been through. And again, that sort of connects with me, because it allows, I'm always going on about be yourself, be yourself, free yourself. It allows us to be totally honest and just sort of share who we are, and people can take it or leave it. You don't have to sort of try and be something you're not.
Definitely. About the integrity and the transparency again. And as we all know, if we have followed leaders from this industry, they have all been at a very, very low point of their lives, and that is their story now, and that's why we can relate to them going from the ashes and all the way up to the sky, like the Team Phoenix, like the Phoenix bird again, like the whole story of rising up, and we all desire that, and we all are flying upwards. So it's the whole storytelling that really grabs our attention, and and also the feeling of hope that Keith also talked about. If you want to continue, Keith, you might overlap a bit.
Yeah, the one that stood out for me was literally about talking about hope. It reminds me of what Vince says in one of the trainings inside ILN. People don't care about the product, they don't care about the opportunity, they don't necessarily care about you, but what they want is hope that their future's going to be better. The hope that, for example, they can be financially free, the hope that they haven't got to work, in a job that they don't want to work in for till retirement. So it's the hope that we're selling, the hope that we're offering people. Definitely.
And of course, this is not like a free ride to money. It is work, but it's entrepreneurial work, and it's we're doing it in our own hours whenever we want to, and putting the effort in that we want to. And of course, the more effort we put into it, the more we will gain, the more we will go forward. So So we are responsible for our own success, basically. So Karen, if you are there, if you would want to share a bit.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
And again, like Jacob, taking my notes.
Yeah, nice. Good students. I was a high school teacher, and I didn't have good students like this. I was a high school teacher for 4 years, and you guys are my best students. But of course, it's because we're working for something that we really put our heart into. And of course, high school students have partying, and they might not even see the whole idea of going to high school. So yeah.
Well, it's getting used to it now with ILN as well, going through all the university, and obviously you've got all the printouts, and yeah, getting into the habit of actually taking a lot of notes.
Yeah, great.
The ones that I think I found interesting were obviously integrity and honesty, which is probably the same thing to me, and basically that's what I want people to think of me, being honest and basically straight down the line. And obviously the other one that obviously comes out to mind is familiarity, which if you look at my blog posts and everything, at the end of it, the picture of me, and it's all the little wordings that's at the end. And I just think it's good to have that branding and familiarity there so that people recognise you no matter what system you're there on, and they can kind of follow you around, knowing that it is going to be you. And the other one was exclusivity, basically pinpointing an item that only you can have, and obviously people want to get it because you're the only one that can give that one out, and obviously having a minimum amount of it so that it's not going to saturate everything. I think that's about it, really.
Great. Yeah, the whole thing about people being able to mirror themselves in you, and those are the people that you will attract, the ones that can actually see themselves in you and see that if you're doing it, then they can do it. And
that's right. Yeah.
So that's important. Yeah. So great. And yeah, and great work with all your. I see your blog posts every day, all over the place. So people should go. Yeah, it's KarenSpence.com, right? They should go.
KarenEspence.com, yeah.
Espence, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Good work. And Nadine, we're tight in the panel here as we are. Yeah, all getting tired, and it's been a long day, but we will see.
Yeah, they're closing down here now, and I promised this guy that I'm going to be out on time, and I keep my integrity, and I will be.
Yeah.
I put on the right box in the message box everything that came to my mind, and the one main thing, so all the points triggered something. The main point that was really good is urgency, making sure that people are not procrastinating, and that you give them value, that they really say, yes, I want it. Because if you're honest and you're already giving them amazing value, you're just helping them to kind of make the step to start evolving in the person they are or can be. Because it's always the process of starting to do something, because thinking about it, it's never ever going to happen. So stop thinking and start doing it. That was the main. We're really interested in it. Good. So I got to leave you guys. You all have an awesome sleep, and I'll see you on Facebook, and I'm looking forward to get to know you all a bit more.
Thank you. Nice having you here. And yes, we will discuss if we would have to hang out an hour earlier, because it is quite late for some of us. We're an hour after the British people, so yeah. We will see if we can do that. Bye-bye. And we will be closing down soon, but we will see if Nina has something to say. Of course, you didn't hear the webinar on the 30 triggers, but if you know anything about the psychology of sales or have anything to add.
Well, actually, no, I don't know much or anything yet about the psychology of sales. I've never been in sales, so no idea about it at all. But of course, what you said before about integrity and honesty, that's very important for me, because obviously that's some of my principles I have in general. which is one of the reasons why I've never done anything with sales, because I always perceived the sales sector as a lot of blah, 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 which never holds what it promises. And as Keith said before about, I think it was Keith, was it Claude? Someone said something about MLM. If you mention it, just the reactions you get. This affected me as well. So every time I have been approached of someone who's working in MLM, it was like, oh, no. I know it's not what most people think, but still I don't want to be involved with that, because people will think in a different way about me if I work in a system like that. So there's a lot for me to learn still, but I'm really curious. And even though I don't know much about ILN yet, I have the feeling I'm in the right place. And so, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the greatest way to start, yeah, and then just take it one day at a time or one step at a time, and see. Yep. Always feeling if you're there and if it's good, because of course you have to really, and yeah, the whole thing with of course the MLM thing and people saying, is it a pyramid scheme or something like that. We've all been through that process of sort of overcoming that, because we believe in this system. Like I try to say to people that well, first of all, we have a regular business where we have a boss on top, and then we have some other, I don't know what they call it, executives under, and then we have more, and it is kind of like a pyramid, except that the people on the bottom don't really get a lot of acknowledgement, and they always have a limit on their pay, and here we actually have of course we have company owners that invest a lot of the money and sort of structure the company, but we down here can actually excel and rise up so high because it's all related to our efforts and our success. So the whole pyramid thing just also because the scheme thing was that before we used to have companies where it was just trading or exchanging money. There wasn't really products, but this here we have the products, we have the training, the video courses that we actually learn from, and we have the vacation club that I used to fly to Miami. I rented a car there. I had the hotel room through my vacation club, and I saved over 50% on that. So they are real products, but of course people have to get through that pyramid scheme thing thought, and I've in my road I've become stronger in because I believe in it so much. I've become stronger in explaining this to people. Also, in the whole thing that if there are so many products in the internet, and of course the people who make the products, they earn a bunch of money depending on their success with it. But if here we are a bunch of people earning, of course, less money, but we can earn a lot of money on one product. So it's just going out to more people instead of just one person becoming a millionaire because of a product. We are actually like tens of thousands of people earning money on one product. So in my world, it's a better way to get the money out on people. So yeah, it's a process to know the world and how it works for you. Definitely.
The pyramid thing is always comes up. It's quite interesting, and yet obviously most companies, or all companies, really have a pyramid structure. If you think about it, I think the key is the word scheme, really, that comes into it, because scheme tends to be associated with something that's sort of like tricking people or leading them astray. Also, another point that someone made to me recently was pyramids are actually really good structures, because if you think pyramids have lasted thousands of years, you still get pyramids in Egypt, you know. But yeah, there's definitely I think Claude touched on this before. There's the kind of rep that MLM has. It sort of gets a bad rep, and you know, if I think for good reason. There are let's face it, there are opportunities out there that are very scammy and dodgy, and it's easy to get led astray. So you've got to do your due diligence and make sure you're in an opportunity that is good and genuine, and
And you have to have your intuition and your sixth sense about what you're doing, and if it's right for you, and if you're actually learning from the materials and products and everything. Yeah, so of course, but
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
but there's a lot of fear too out there in the world of this kind of, because it's different from working a 9 to 5 job. It's different, and everything that's different, there's fear attached to it from people who don't know anything about it. Once you get to know about it, you can actually see more, and there's more and more sense being made of it, and you actually get to know it more. So
Yeah.
always fear of the unknown. That's how the world works.
Sure.
Yeah, but as Claude was talking about that, you were sort of jumping on and off, but yeah, we were talking about the whole MLM structure, the pyramid, because in the psychology of sales, of course, we will encounter that phrase or that fear, that is this a pyramid scheme or whatever. I've actually not encountered it that much, but a few times, yeah, and mostly actually from my family or people in my life, like my boyfriend, my mother. People around me are the ones that have asked me the most about this. So I've been able to talk more about it there. But,
Sure.
yeah.
I was wondering, Chrissy, when you say your family and friends have been asking you the most about this MLM pyramid scheme thing,
Yeah, in the beginning.
I was wondering, can it be because these people know us and they expect certain things of us, and they just see we're doing something differently and they're just getting scared no matter what it is? Could that be a point in there?
What I have learned is also that when I start taking charge of my life, and when I start actually moving towards something better, which is out of the ordinary of what my family and friends live in, they live in this world with, as I call the society, with TV and fear and traditional jobs and
The Matrix.
The Matrix, as we call it. Yes. They live in the Matrix. And when I move away from them, of course they will be scared, because we're not living in the same world. I'm living in my own world where I meet like-minded people on the internet and at Anthony Robbins events as well. So it's just I think it's just fear from their side, that they, of course, they care about us and they don't want anything bad to happen to us, but they should also learn to trust us and our choices. So yeah, for me it's not that bad. It was just in the beginning, and then once they saw, especially my mom and family, once they saw my enthusiasm and that I really wanted this, they sort of left me alone with it. So yeah, and of course meeting new people, a new boyfriend and stuff that doesn't really know anything about it, then I have to explain how it is, and of course there's a bit of fear there, and yeah, so it's just people living in the matrix and in the fear.
I'll tell you what is actually quite interesting about that, and obviously I'm always going on about things like the law of attraction, and I found that when I started off in my previous opportunity, which, you know, the short story of that was I couldn't really get on board. I couldn't resonate with it, and I couldn't make it work for me. And I think most of the time when I was getting people who were saying to me, that looks like a scam, that looks like a pyramid scheme, be careful, I was actually going through making myself believe it as well. Does that make any sense? That I was still convincing myself that it was genuine. And so I found that when I was marketing and talking about it, people were obviously detecting the uncertainty in me, and quite rightly addressing it and saying, "Oh, that sounds dodgy." And the reason it probably sounded dodgy was because I wasn't sure about it. I found that once I actually got to a point where I convinced myself that this is something for me, and I resonated with it, and I felt a part of it, and I was excited about it, and confident about it. Those questions stopped. Strange people stopped actually saying that and asking me those questions, and if they were to do it now, it wouldn't really bother me, because I just sort of say, well, there's 8 billion people in the world I can talk to. If you don't like
talk to someone else.
it sounds a bit harsh, but you just get to a point where you sort of essentially just start to ignore that sort of side of things.
Because it's your life, it's not theirs, and if they don't want the same as you, then of course you can't work together. But
Absolutely, it's a self-development process. The whole marketing and ILN and everything like that, and all the training is 99.9% recurring of it is mindset and personal development. And I find that you have these kind of little breakthroughs, and you learn something new and you talk about it, and then you get some resistance to it. Maybe someone challenges it and you feel a bit hurt. Maybe you go off the radar for a week and then you come back and you start again. And it's kind of like just a process, but it's worth it because you are developing yourself as you go. And the end result is you're becoming a better and more, greater person, and have more potential and all sorts.
You definitely become stronger in this world, because you get to stand up for your own dreams and your own beliefs, and once you become so certain where you want to take your life, and also with the dreamscaping course, you really know where you want to live, and you know you deserve more than you have now, and you deserve a different life, and you start dreamscaping that life, and then you just become immune. I just saw another. Well, I see Mark Hoverson every day on his videos posts, but I just saw something about vaccinations. The path of the network marketer, where you have to have different vaccinations to be immune over things from the matrix or from other people holding you down, because people will try to hold you down on their level. But if you want to rise up to higher levels and to your potential, you have to become free. Free yourself to free yourself, as Jacob said.
Thank you. Product placement right there.
So it's just really it is a journey about becoming stronger, believing more in yourself and in your dreams and desires, and how you can get there. But all the time following your own intuition and your heart, and that we are very heart-based here, because we don't want to. It's the same with the integrity and the transparency. We don't want to. We don't at all want to scam people. We don't want to see to say you can make this amount of money in that much time, and of course there are some indications that you can do that, and people are doing that, but it's not a certainty. You have to, of course, do something for it and learn and evolve. And so at least here in Team Phoenix, we know that we support each other as marketers, and in the mindset, success mindset, rising up.
Absolutely. And what you made me think there, Christy, is sometimes a lot of it is finding whether people are a match for you as well as you're a match for them. I think when I was starting out in marketing, I had this sense of, right, I've got to message as many people as I can, spam everyone, because I need people to join my business, and I was coming at it from a sense of urgency and almost desperation, and all I was doing was attracting more people who are like that, or just pushing people away, thinking this guy's too pushy. But now you actually end up turning it around. It gets to a point where you're sort of questioning the person. It's almost like interviewing them, questioning them, saying, well, I don't actually know if I want this person to join, And you're kind of like, they don't seem like the sort of person I get on with, and you actually start probing them more for questions and finding out about them. So I just, like Christy said, I see the whole thing as just a personal development process.
Yes, it's like a job interview for can you join Team Phoenix? Because we protect our little group here, and we know that it's not about quantity, it's more about quality. We want quality people here who actually want this path and want to take some action and want to evolve and want to have the success mindset, and not just the quick money spam everybody and don't without the integrity and without the heart. Yeah, we want the right people to work with, so we choose wisely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
But Claude, you haven't said anything for a while. If you have anything to say about the sales, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I've found is that even if you are chasing a fast buck, it's not, this is not really the place to be, because it definitely just says, once you join the main island group, that you're welcome to say, to your opinion, but there's no posting of your links and no spam, and so that's the kind of culture you get introduced to straight away. So, in our close little group, we like to see ourselves as, some of us are technically versed, some of us are a bit esoteric and spiritual, and I find that it's a lovely mix. So it's not too spiritual, it's not too technical, if you like, it's highly practical and it's highly doable. So, and as well, what I love about it too is that it's actually cosmopolitan. It reflects the world that I want to live in, not just from a a riches or wealth point of view, but from a point where everyone's inclusive, as long as they are, they know what their mission is, and they know what they're here to do, which is basically to help people so that the people can help them get to where they want to get to. That's just the end of the story, really, and the story just continues.
Absolutely, dude. I love it. You make me feel epic, Ben. I sometimes say that be epic. Think about the. I always see it as like the whole planet is connecting together now, next to the internet, when we are networking together. Now I sort of have conversations with people all over the world, and everyone seems to have what you were just describing there, Claude. A lot of people seem to have that emerging sense of, I'm done with all this old stuff that doesn't work anymore. I want to build a community and help people and evolve now. I'm done with all the crap. So that's a really cool why you've just outlined there. It's kind of like the contribution we're making to the world as a whole. I think is brilliant.
Absolutely.
And if I can contribute with the yogic and astrology side of it, it's because we have moved from the Piscean age to the Aquarius age, and we are leaving the old age where it was hard work and traditional work and fear and the masculine. We're moving into the more feminine, more working together as teams, working to do better of everything and to create a better earth, sort of. So and I also see it as a freedom revolution, that I'm a revolutionist. I'm fighting for freedom, not just for me, but for everyone that I can help with this. And I do it by coaching, by teaching others what I learn, and just so that we can all just sort of get into this passive income heaven. Now, of course, we have to work for it, and it doesn't come for free. It's still a work, but it's just a different way of living, a different entrepreneurial way of living, and deciding your own hours, being free to sit on the beach and work if you can get Wi-Fi there, or at a cafe or whatever. So it's just a different way of living, in accordance with the new age, sort of. If we go age on it, but yeah.
I love these epic conversations. This is what I'm all about.
Law of attraction rules.
Absolutely.
But
because
go
ahead. Well, I find that the principles regard to Ireland, they are more Zen. They're more fluid. They're more like Tai Chi. But for me, my wife Kimberly makes a great analogy that, on the top is like the swan, it's all graceful, but really underneath the waves, underneath the level of the water, is all that furious paddling going on to keep the sort of like the image going of that real sort of smooth, preening look, and I find that, it's like, it's really smooth. It does have its ups and downs, but the people who complain, they tend to lose a lot of time based, complaining, because then there are a lot of people who say a lot of stuff like that every day, like there are people like obviously Jacob, Keith, and Fraser. They always say stuff at some point in the day. You realize that some people are doing that. Perhaps it's not really conducive to what Ireland is about, and that could go for people in or outside the group. And I find it really helpful, not for just for motivation, but for actual practice on the things that you need to develop on. And obviously there are areas where we're not all really versed technically with, getting into my blog, I mean, I prefer just to write. I could write all day long, but doing the blog sometimes it's just like, oh gosh, you know, something I've got to do. I've got to do the SEO for the blog. But once it's up there, it's really a beautiful thing. I don't see anything really else like it, really. So it's just it's poetry in motion. And as Christy said, you know, we are moving into an age where, you know, I think communication, you know, like honest and real communication is not just blah blah blah. I'm gonna stick it to you, and if you don't like it, you know, we don't want to go out like, well, we don't want to go in like that to go out like that, because we're going to lose people. So we really want to represent, you know, Ireland in the best possible light, and our communications are really going to be key to doing that.
Yeah, the value that we provide.
Yeah, I think what came up for me then,
Absolutely.
well, one of my favorite trainings at the apprentice level is you must get to people's hearts first. It's one of Vince's trainings, and he's talking about that very passive attraction marketing, which is what I'm all about, where you just putting your heart out there and speaking your story and being genuine, and people approach you about the business. People talk and ask you rather than just like the quick sale, and it's kind of like it's definitely coming from the heart rather than the ego and the mind, I think, which is reflective of the whole thing we just spoke about, the whole evolution of everyone. So
yeah, about not being in your ego and in the sense of desperation. I need to have money. I need to earn money quick, but more relaxing and trusting the process, trusting your path, and that that you do attract people. And as long as you put out value, you will attract people. And
absolutely.
And that's, of course, you have to do some of the techniques to actually. And also some of the sales techniques that we learned in marketing, but it doesn't have to be sales like in the traditional sense that you have to go out and be pushy and just convince people. And it's more like the techniques that we learned with the triggers, that you can just alter a few words in your text, and you will actually speak to their subconscious mind, and as Joe Sugarman says, that 95% of sales are actually done with the subconscious mind, so that people the energies, they feel the energies, they feel that this is something they want, and they're curious, because of the way you speak about it, and the small words you use to evoke their curiosity or their it's not that you have to be like the salesperson in the traditional sense. It's more like a more attraction marketing thing. Yeah. So, but it's to master this craft and to master it like you master your job. You have to learn. There's a learning curve. You have to learn how to do it, and here it is as well. You have to learn how to get your first sign up, and you have to learn how to talk with people and how to and it's a process.
Building momentum.
Definitely. Which comes back to your why. If you want it enough, why do you want it, and is the why big and strong enough that you really want to work on it? So
yeah, I mean, even if you don't have the why, I mean, Ireland gives you the reason. You know, you don't have to actually have a product in Ireland. That's the great thing, because the training actually sells itself. So it's a no-brainer. Me and myself and Kimberly, we went straight in without even taking the trial. I wouldn't say it's absolutely unheard of. Some people have gone from amateur to pro in the same day, and it's you know, for me, I can easily see why, because all you're doing really is really just clearing the red carpet for the person to walk up to collect their Oscar at the end of the day, because this is where the award really happens when you start your training with ILN. It's so simple, so fluid. You just got to listen and just really enjoy it. And once you enjoy the process, and you go in, it's just like you're just like a kid in a toy shop or a sweet shop. Really, there's so many things to claim, so many prizes to win. You don't have to compete for them, because everybody's your colleague at the end of the day. Jacob just mentioned the word,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're just.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I think we also have to wrap this up because people are getting tired. We've been on a lot of webinars, and we are a bit after. Yeah, it's 11:30 here in Yay! Should we have an after party as usual? No, maybe it's a bit too. We can say the ones who want can stay and have an after party with dress up and everything. But I'll stop the broadcasting now, and we will finish this. And yeah, thanks you for watching if you've been watching, and make sure to grab a hold of one of us if you're interested in getting your 7-day free trial and seeing what ILN is all about. And Team Phoenix, you will get access to our Team Phoenix group, and basically just go for your dreams. That's all we ask. So, bye for now.
Bye.